my top 20 picks. If I was drafting with the first 20 picks, like just go through them. So my number one guy is Paul Goldschmidt. I pick him over Harper or Trout because he steals more, and I like getting the first base right then, so I don't have to focus on it anymore. I talked about in the last video how I like getting in the first 2 rounds, and normally I don't have the number 1 pick, so I'll grab it in the second round, but there's a lot of great players in the second round, so it really opens me up and gives me more options there. Number 2 is Bryce Harper. Yes, I have him over Trout. Trout will probably steal a little bit more bases, but I think Harper has more power, and I want to see if he can replicate that average. I don't think it'll be as high, but it could be somewhere around there. And Trout says he wants to steal more, but I'm gonna wait and actually see if that happens. So obviously he's my number 3. He says he wants to steal more, and also the strikeouts are up with him. I'd really like him to reduce those strikeouts. Number 4, Clayton Kershaw. I think I talked about it in the last video, how if you have the number 4 pick, you should take Clayton Kershaw. It's kind of like the first base scenario of taking Goldschmidt, where, okay, I don't have to worry about pitching in the later rounds as much, and there's a lot of attractive players there, and you're getting the best starter in baseball. Number 5, Josh Donaldson, third baseman, playing in that lineup, insane. So I definitely have to go with him. I debated back and forth between number 6 pick, Manny Machado. I kind of went back and forth where I should place him, and I ultimately think that Donaldson will provide more stats. Machado is obviously more well-rounded. He'll get you steals, and Yahoo Leagues, he's got shortstop eligibility, which is why he's number 6. I will easily take him over Correa. Easily, because of the unprovenness. I know Correa played great last year, but that was just last year. I'd like to see him another year out of it before I make him one of my top picks. I've never picked him in the first round, even though in this list I do have him in the first round. So number 7 is Stanton, who I see fall sometimes, and I think it's just because people get the feeling that he's injury prone, but he does have that, I think it was a hip problem, but most of his injuries are flukes, like getting hit in the face. And he's obviously got the most power potential of any player in baseball today. Number 8, Anthony Rizzo. I love grabbing this guy. I usually can get him way later than 8th. Like usually, if I have in a 12-team league, if I have the 12th and the 13th pick, I can usually get Rizzo and then someone else. But I would pick him as high as 8th. Playing in Grey Cubs lineup, again, first base. I want a first baseman. And I put him ahead of number 9, who I also really like, Nolan Arenado. He really broke out last year. I think he had like 130 RBIs or something. Obviously, he's not going to reach that this year, especially if he doesn't have Tulowitzki and he doesn't have Dickerson. But he's still got great potential. He's playing Coors Field. I wouldn't worry about them raising the fences there. I have Correa 10th. Just because I feel, some people are all into him. He played absolutely insane last year, but with my first pick, I want to pick a safe option. Like, I don't want to pick a risky pick in the first round because that's really where you can't mess up. And if Correa doesn't live up to what he did last year, what's the difference between, he'll steal more bases, but I'd rather get a Bogarts or a Seager later, where there's still some risk there, but it's less opportunity cost. 11, Miguel Cabrera, another first baseman. I don't draft him often, mostly because he'll go before Rizzo, and I like Rizzo more. But I have him 11th. So I feel like he does get discounted a little bit too much because of his age and his injury. The injury risk is a big concern with me. But he's still obviously a first-round pick with the numbers he can put up and the consistent average. Number 12, Andrew McCutchen. Another guy I'd never end up with. He's not stealing anymore as much. And he doesn't have elite power. He's going to give you average. He's going to give you 25-ish home runs every year. He's pretty consistent there. But he's not stealing anymore, which makes me not really want to pick him. Like, I'd rather have a Pollock or Betts in the second round and just take someone else in the first. So that is the first round in a 12-team league. So at the start of the next round, I like Jose Altuve at 13th. I will take him only if I already have a first baseman, like say I already got Rizzo. Then I'll go probably second base with Altuve. Although I like waiting on second base, so I don't end up with him a lot. And I usually get my first baseman in the second round, so that's another reason I don't end up with him a lot. But he's obviously, by and large, the best second baseman on the board. Number 14 is Jose Abreu, another first baseman. I do end up with some Jose Abreu sometimes. Actually, occasionally, I'll go something like Rizzo Abreu, especially in a corner infield league where you've got 2 elite of the 7 elite first basemen, one playing corner infield, one playing first base. Without a corner infield, I would probably go Altuve, but if it's like a corner infield situation, I mean, Abreu and a Rizzo, I mean, you're way ahead of the competition there in those positions. 15, Kris Bryant, third baseman. Obviously, great lineup, played great last year. I'm kind of concerned about the strikeouts, so in a points league, I wouldn't take him here. But in a regular league, I think with the lineup he plays in and the upside and how he played last year, definitely take him 15th. Number 16th is AJ Pollock. I find myself ending up with him around, if I get first baseman, I usually end up with Pollock. I really like Pollock. I feel like he's another Andrew McCutchen. I mean, he's got average, he's got home runs, he hit 20 last year, and then he's got speed. I think he stole 39 bases. It was somewhere around there. So he's stealing, he's hitting for power, he's hitting for average. Love Pollock. And then a guy very similar to him at 17th is Mookie Betts. Betts is a little bit more unproven. He had a pretty good year last year, and he's very hyped up this season in the draft. That's why you see him going in the second round, and I don't have a problem taking him in the second round, but I'll take a guy like Pollock over him, even though Pollock's, you could say he's unproven kind of too. I mean, last year was his breakout season. I just feel more confident than him with Betts. Number 18 is Edwin Encarnacion, another first baseman. Now, with Encarnacion, I think there was some injury thing that was announced, either it was today or yesterday. Right now it's not sounding like he'll have to miss the start of the season, but it's definitely something to monitor, and obviously if that injury does turn out to be something, then he'd fall off the top 20. I'd rather put Jose Bautista there then. Number 19 is Max Scherzer. Now, I went back and forth. I debated, do I want to put 2 pitchers in my top 20? And I decided, yes, I do. So I have Max Scherzer here. Obviously, he's by and far the second best pitcher. And, I mean, reality, he could be the best pitcher in the league this year. Obviously, Kershaw's got a big edge on him. But it's not out of the ballpark to say that Scherzer will be the most valuable pitcher in leagues this year. And I really like getting starting pitching early. I don't end up with Scherzer that much because I'll usually grab a Pollock or an Abreu in the second round. Again, I don't get a lot of top picks. It's usually if my first baseman is either Abreu or Rizzo, who I usually grab in the second round. Number 20 is Buster Posey, another guy I talked about in the last video. Posey, I don't end up with him a lot. Again, I don't end up with a lot of these guys because first base, I can't say it enough. First base. You need a first baseman within the first 2 rounds. But I like Posey. He's obviously by and far the largest catcher. Best catcher. And you'll be way ahead of everybody in the position. But again, he's a guy that you'll be so far ahead. I mean, not a lot of other people have good catchers. So you don't have to make up as much ground. Like, if you don't get Posey, definitely just wait. As I said, Realmuto or Swihart. So, those are my top 20 picks this year. Got a couple drafts coming up this week. I got Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous Roto Auction Draft on Saturday. If you haven't visited their website or seen their YouTube channel, check them out. I'm on there, they're on there on that website all the time, and we will just talk fantasy baseball. It's a great place to find a lot of knowledgeable people that just chat. And we do mock drafts all the time, just spontaneously. I got my money league that I filled up on Sunday. It's a 12-team Yahoo league, head to head. I might post the result of that. I don't know if it's going to be live streamed or not, but if not, I'll definitely post the results of that draft because it's actually my first money league ever. It's only $25, but I kind of I like deeper leagues. So even though it's a 12-team league, I put in a corner infielder, I put in a middle infielder, 4 outfielders, 3 utility, and then holds is a category because I like having to draft more than just closers. It adds another depth in there. So that's what's coming up at the end of the week. So that was my top 20 pitchers. So thanks for watching.